We're in Hugo again, and today's mystery began over 30 years ago, not far from where we are today. It was December 8th, 1993, here just outside Hugo, about 5 miles north of here. There was a woman named Valerie Brock who ran a daycare center out of her home. Now, on that cold morning, back on December 8th, it was winter, and Miss Brock noticed something that looked like a child's doll in her backyard. She went outside to get the doll, and as Miss Brock slowly got closer to what she thought was a dirty, discarded toy laying out there on the almost frozen ground, she was horrified. She realized that what she was looking at was not a kid's doll toy at all. It was a newborn baby and was lying out on the freezing ground. Some reports state that some dogs had drug it out into her yard. Miss Brock immediately notified the police, and the police arrived and found the baby had already passed. Choctaw County Sheriff's Office were on the scene, and they notified the OSBI for help. And the unidentified baby was sent to the medical examiner. The local police and OSBI were conducting interviews of everyone in Miss Brock's home. They were trying to make headway into finding out what happened to the baby and who this baby belonged to. The little boy was nicknamed Baby Doe because no one knew who he was. Baby Doe was sent off to the medical examiner, and it was determined by the medical examiner that the baby was born alive. But the manner of death was that his throat had been cut, and there was trauma to his head that contributed to his death. Of course, all the people of Hugo and the surrounding areas, came together and made donations, and they were touched. They wanted to make sure that Baby Doe was buried with dignity. So Baby Doe was renamed by the community as Baby Boy Hugo. And he was buried in Mount Olivet Cemetery here in Hugo. A memorial was placed there for Baby Boy Hugo. In the meantime, the investigation continued, but soon became as cold as the winter air. Months and then years passed by, and Baby Boy Hugo's parents were never found. Baby Boy Hugo's murderer was never found either. DNA was saved from Baby Boy Hugo back in '93. They were hoping that someday they could use it to find Baby Boy Hugo's parents and his murderer. Despite many people forgetting about the case, some did not. So let's fast forward back here to October 2020. The OSBI agent assigned to Baby Boy Hugo's case, he got together with the OSBI Code Case Unit, and they submitted the DNA to DNA Diagnostics Labs in hopes that technology had caught up enough to give them more leads. 6 months later, in April 21, the results of the DNA came back with some information, and it led agents in the right direction. The OSBI agents had some ideas as to who the biological mother could be. An interview was scheduled on June 15, 2021, with a woman named Meonia Michelle Allen of Durant. Now, Miss Allen was speaking with agents in that interview and was questioned about the possibility of submitting her DNA to help determine if she was the mother of the baby boy. Miss Allen submitted her DNA and then left the interview, never stating anything else. It's reported that 20 minutes after that interview, Miss Allen called the OSBI agent and then confessed over the telephone that she was the mother of baby boy Hugo after all. She claimed the baby was born stillborn. So this, of course, raised many questions for everyone, and they had Miss Allen back in for another interview soon after. In the next interview, Miss Allen cleared up some things. In 1993, Miss Allen was actually one of the people law enforcement interviewed shortly after baby boy Hugo was murdered. 9 days after the baby's body was found on December 8th, Miss Allen was interviewed. In December of 93, Miss Allen worked for Valerie Brock, where the baby was found, at that daycare center that Miss Brock ran out of her home. Miss Allen, the mother, was dating Miss Brock's son at the time, and sometimes stayed at the home of her boyfriend and Miss Brock. It was relayed to OSBI from Miss Allen, the mother, that her baby was born stillborn. The agent showed Miss Allen the autopsy report, showing that the baby had his throat cut, and she stated then that the baby was not stillborn, but actually born alive and healthy. Miss Allen stated that she kept her pregnancy secret for over 30 years, never telling anyone, including her parents, or her then boyfriend, or her boyfriend's family. Miss Allen also confessed to cutting the baby's throat right after he was born. Miss Allen's story was that she unexpectedly went into labor that night and went out in the cold and gave birth to that baby in a barn on Miss Brock's property. Miss Allen also stated she had some sort of physical altercation early on the morning of December 8th, 93, and that's when she went to the barn and gave birth. Miss Allen carried her live baby through the cold December weather just outside the home of Miss Brock, and she laid the bare baby on a couch that was sitting outside the home. Miss Allen then went inside and grabbed some sort of blade. She never stated what it was specifically. And then she went outside to where her baby was, and she picked him up and carried him over behind the well house to do what she did in secret. The mother, Miss Allen, then proceeded to cut the throat of her own newborn baby, who she never even named. Miss Allen then left her dying baby there, alone behind the wall of the well house, that cold winter morning. Miss Allen went back inside where it was nice and warm. Miss Allen never gave a statement explaining why there was trauma to the baby's head. Later that morning, after Miona Allen cut her baby's throat, is when Valerie Brock discovered the little boy laying outside, already deceased. Miss Allen has not went to trial yet for this murder. She was originally charged with first-degree murder with intent to harm. She's currently housed here behind the courthouse in the Choctaw County Jail, but the records show that she's now being charged with second-degree murder instead. I guess whomever's prosecuting has downgraded the charges. Meonia Michelle Allen's trial is set to begin October 15th of this year, 2024. If it was up to me, I'd give her the death penalty. So do y'all remember that story? If you're old like me, you might remember it. It was a long time ago, though. We're over here at Babyland at Mount Olivet Cemetery in Hugo, Oklahoma, now to look at its memorial. What do y'all think about that story? What do y'all think about that mom that did that? Some people don't remember, because if you remember on December 8th and you're from around here, about 8 days later, on maybe the 17th or so of December, just a little over a week after this happened with baby boy Hugo, there was a shooting at our local Walmart where a man had killed a couple of people and wounded others. And that kind of overshadowed a lot of things around here. That was a big news story, I guess, and national news were out. So an angel visited the green earth and took a flower away, baby boy Hugo. And he's buried right over here, a couple rows over. You can't miss it because they'll always have little cars and little toys on top of it that people leave for baby boy Hugo. Baby boy Hugo, December 8th, 1993 to December 8th, 1993. She didn't let him live very long, did she? I doubt it was even the couple hours she said. It probably wasn't even that long. It's a shame. If y'all want to come pay your respects, baby boy Hugo's at Mount Olivet Cemetery in Hugo, Oklahoma. And if y'all want, y'all can bring a little toy out for this little boy.